Uh, our team's excited about, going back to Charlotte and playing in Bank America Stadium, representing the Coastal Division and trying to win an ACC championship.
Larry, you mentioned yesterday on the teleconference that the success this season was kind of an indication that your plan was working. So can you elaborate more on kind of what your plan was when you arrived here?
Well, I mean, that'd take us, hours to talk about. I mean, when you're talking about having a plan in every phase of the program, from academics to nutrition to strength and conditioning to the people that clean the building to, everything. I mean, you're talking about an overall plan and a mindset for everybody. But, really it was establishing a vision of where we wanted to go and then putting the plan into place to do that, and it's making sure that we have great people on our staff, not only, football-wise, but the support staff and everything that understand the vision and understand that it's all about the kids and that everything that we do is doing it in a first-class manner for these players and putting them in a position where they can be successful.
Have you had to make significant?
Oh, yeah, no doubt, because it never just works like this. I mean, there's always setbacks and always things that you have to overcome, and probably more than I expected, So it was, but you still knew what the vision was, and maybe we had to change the way we were doing some things along the way, but, everybody understood what we were doing and where we were going.
The guys that have been on this team, Marquise and Landon, for example, gone through coaching change, scheme change, a lot of things that a lot of guys on this team have been through. What does that mean to you to see for those guys, the journey of where they started to where they are now?
Yeah, it's pretty special. I mean, there's 5 of them, right, that were fifth-year seniors, and then the other seniors. I mean, for those guys to have, bought into the vision that we were selling, and to wholeheartedly give everything they had to try to make that happen, to reach their dreams and goals. I mean, it's an incredible feeling to see that happen for those kids. And then, on the other side of that, it makes me feel confident that no matter what's thrown at them when they leave this university with their degree, that, they're going to be successful and they're going to be able to fall back on the lessons that they've learned overcoming all of this adversity.
Have there been moments that
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there were a lot of things that were unexpected, and a lot of things that were tougher than I thought. Coming into the situation, I'd be lying if I told you that it was any other way. But at the same time, I mean, even though it may be frustrating, I mean, the plan was set in place, and we're going to work the plan every day. And that meant motivating people and keeping people positive about, what was going on in the program, and that our future is very bright.
What were some of those things?
Well, the ongoing investigation, or the multiple investigations, or the regurgitation of the same information over and over and over, just to keep bringing it up, to create a negative atmosphere for as long as somebody could create it. That was difficult.
As a coach, do you sit back and pat yourself on the back of the move?
No, I don't really pat myself on the back. So, and that's a fault of mine right now, and it has been my whole life, of I need to make sure I do a good job of patting people on the back. I don't worry about myself. I'm comfortable with who I am, and and because of that, sometimes I don't pat other people on the back, and other people aren't like me all the time, and so they need to have that affirmation that they're doing a good job. And so that's something that I know is a fault of mine that I have to continue to work on, and it's just the way I was raised. It's just it's who I am.
Are you able to feel like you were shorthanded along the way and still
Oh, I think we overcame some tremendous odds, yeah, and some tremendous adversity throughout the process. Yes, I do. But I think, you know, anytime you achieve anything that's great, I mean, you got things to overcome. That's just part of life. I mean, it never just happens the way you want it to happen. I mean, at least for me, it's never happened that way. So, I mean, you know, I'm growing as a coach every day, you know, but the great thing is that I know that I cannot fail. I can only learn and grow from the mistakes that are made and things that happen. And so, you know, it's, it makes you feel better.
Are you able to climb this, appreciate this climb that the program has made, like what we were talking about at the beginning to now, or are you so caught up in?
Well, we got so much, you know, yeah, for me, I mean, again, you guys know, I'm just like, when it's all over with, maybe I'll sit back and smoke a cigar and think back on it, you know, but right now, I mean, we're fixing to play the #1 team in the country. And we don't have time to pull our, you know, kick our shoes off and throw our feet up. I mean, we got a lot of work to do.
The changes to the vision you were talking about, what was the most difficult change to recognize and to implement?
Well, I would say that for us, it was that we had to constantly, you know, be prepared to defend ourselves in recruiting. I mean, long before you could ever sell what you had to offer, you had to defend. And that was something that was constant, you know, throughout the process. And that was surprising.
You can't keep your feet up.
No.
Yesterday when you addressed the team, obviously you accomplished the state championship and that at a point now where it did have to change this week.
Yeah, well, they knew, because I mentioned it in the locker room that, you know, okay, we've hit these goals on Sunday. We've got to reestablish new goals. And so there's not a guy in there that was laying back and saying, oh, man, we accomplished our goals, you know, we're good. No, it was like, we got work to do, you know. And that's why, you know, in establishing the new goals, I'm confident in these guys because I know how they're going to come to work tomorrow. I know how they're going to come to work on Wednesday. I know how they're going to come to work on Thursday. And their consistency throughout this whole year has made this process so much fun for this coaching staff. It's not come in from pregame and go, all right, how'd they look? What were their eyes like? You think they're going to be okay? They're going to be, you know, how are they going to play? And you laugh, but there's been many times in my life that's what you do. And you have no idea. And you say, oh, man, they look really good in pregame. They go out there and lay an egg. Or, I don't know if we're ready, and they go out there and crush somebody. Well, this group, it's just the same way all the time. And that's nice.
1980 was the last time you guys won an ACC championship. Where you were at, what you were doing in 1980?
Yeah, I was in high school. 1980. I guess I was starting my senior year of high school. Did Reagan get shot that year? Yeah, I was in the parking lot. I remember that. Yeah, it was a good year. There was a lot of good things happening. You're a senior in high school, man. You know, I was having a good time. No, not the. I didn't mean that. Don't infer that I meant that was a good thing. I was a senior in high school. Good thing. I mean, it was, you know, you're on top of the world. Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Has anyone from that 80 team reached out to you since you guys clinched the Coastal, or do you communicate with anyone from that team at any point?
You know what, I have met guys along the way this year that were part of that team and you know, not by any means a lot of them, but there have been guys that said, yeah, I was on that team, you know, and I mean, it's pretty cool, you know, to talk to somebody that was in that situation, you know, so, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Would you consider having any of them speak to your players this week or do anything like that?
I've never turned down the opportunity for any of our former players to come and talk to our guys. I mean, you know, the last one to do that this year was Quincy Monk, and before the Wake Forest game, and he had some great things to say, and it was really good for our football team.
You talked about Matt Brown, that you conferred with him, taking this job out of potential here. Do you have any communications with him during the course of this year about?
Just text after every game. Yeah, back and forth text after every game. I mean, he's busy, and he knows I'm busy, but he's got his eye on us, he's watching, and he's been very, very complimentary.
Yeah, when the turnovers that you guys went 3 games without a turnover, it's been 2 in a row with 3. What's been the problem the last 2 games? Is there something?
No, nothing in particular. I mean, it's not because of lack of emphasis or anything like that. But we will, we'll make sure we reemphasize it this week. Our guys they know, we got to do a much better job of that, much better job. And if we do that, we give ourselves a chance, and if you go, you play the number 1 team in the country and you turn the ball over, you're going to make it really, really tough, really tough. So we got to do a great job of that, and our guys know that.
Defensively, after the Duke game, you and Coach Tibbetts said that was not the standard. The guys didn't play to the standard you wanted. This past week, got NC State. It was kind of a familiar pattern in the sense that you guys got the huge lead in state, sustained drives, got 500 yards of offense.
Yeah, and let me go ahead and set the record straight there, because some of that you can put on me, because there were points in the game where I said, Gene, they got to do this, this, and this to beat us. All right, make them work for every yard they get. All right, don't give them anything big. So that ties his hands a little bit. That's less blitzing, let's put us in man coverage fewer times, so that if something does bad happen, because they had to score 3 times. And with where we were in the game, I felt comfortable that if we didn't turn the ball over, we would be okay. And so it was more about winning the football game than worrying about what our stats were on defense or what our stats were on offense too.
So I guess, how do you feel then about the way your defense is playing here in the final month? And now
The drive that went 97 yards, that's not our standard, no. But after that, a lot of that stuff's on me. So I think that they have done a better job since that Duke game of, when we get in that situation, playing better. But, that's something that you still got to work on when you're up like that. Human nature is to, to not be as intense and not be as focused, and we've got to do that. We've got to do a better job of that.
in playing, is there anything comparable to what you faced this year?
This is the best offense we have faced this year, no doubt about it. And this is the best defense we've faced this year. This is the best football team we have faced. I mean, they're the number 1 team in the country. And they've been that way for how many weeks? 10 weeks? Long time, right? As long as you guys can remember. So they're really good. They're really good.
So you're okay, I guess, with where your defense is going into a matchup where they're going to be...
I'm not okay with anything.
Well, you always trip me up with it. I guess overall then, do you see your defense is in a good position?
I think our defense can play well enough to put us in a position to win.
Has obviously come a long way on the field. In terms of generating support, though, it seems like there's still working around the program, lots of empty seats.
I think that's more of, that's more a matter of opinion. I mean, again, I'm as impatient as anybody in the process, but I also understand it's a process. And anytime you are changing things and change culture, it takes time. And yeah, I want it to happen right now. I want it to happen yesterday. But I think we're making a lot of progress. I really do.
How can you use this season?
Well, anytime you win, I mean, everybody wants to be around a winner, So we'll take all the bandwagon people that want to jump on. We'll take them.
Larry, your team is out of the top 100 nationally in plays run.
Yeah, totally out of what we normally do.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is that? I know you said you don't always do the fast tempo thing, but is tempo still?
Oh, yeah, very much so. Yeah, I mean, we used tempo quite a bit in that game the other day, but what we've gotten back is more to the roots of where this offense started, and that was being multi-tempoed. We had gotten away from that and everything was fast. And so, and going back and looking, in my opinion, we started sacrificing execution for speed. And I just, going into this year, I didn't want that to happen. I wanted us to execute, still be able to go fast when we wanted to, but also be able to slow it down when we needed to and execute. And so I think our guys have done a really good job. I don't know where we are this year, average per play offensively.
7.5.
Okay, we hadn't done that in the last, it's been a while, a long time for me. I don't know if I've ever been 7.5.
Second best in the country.
Yeah, so I'd say we're executing pretty good, and whatever tempos we're using is pretty effective.
Is that beneficial for the defense as well?
Oh, yeah, I think so. And part of that is we're playing better defense, and so, okay, we don't need to go at breakneck speed all the time unless we're getting some kind of great advantage. We don't have to do that. And part of that, guys, is we've been up quite a bit in quite a few games. And I mean, there's a lot of times in the third quarter, we pull Queese out in the third quarter, after one drive, or I have said, hey, use the clock. We're in great shape. Let's win the game. So it doesn't always help your stats, but we've won 11 in a row.
How much is not being as focused on that breakneck speed that happened every 18, 19 seconds like we talked about last year help when you had to pull it back like the other day? You guys had a possession you went 10 yards but used 3.5 minutes, which is unlike what you would. How much did it help when you had to pull back?
I think it's helped a bunch because because we execute better, and so being able to change our speeds within a game and be multi-tempoed has been a factor in our success this year, no doubt about it.
Could you update us on Janice's situation?
Janice? Oh, TJ Giles? Yeah, TJ Giles. No, it's all right. He's been suspended for violation of team policy. That's it.
Big plays, your offense to make those kind of get.
Well, first of all, we got good players. That's the number one thing. Two, in what we do offensively by spreading the field the way we do it horizontally and vertically, we create a lot of mismatches and a lot of problems for, defenses, whether we're going to be, they're going to be a nickel or whether they're going to be a dime or whether they're going to be in base. And we've got great length on the outside, and so those guys can really make plays. And we got great speed and quickness on the inside. And then you got a running back who can go anytime, and you got a quarterback that can beat you with his arm or his leg. So we have a lot of the pieces of the puzzle with those playmakers, and they got a lot of confidence,
I guess Virginia Tech did the best job at limiting those.
Yeah, Bud does a good job. Now, there's a reason that he has the reputation that he has. He does a good job. He's not afraid to take chances.
Without giving too much away, what do you think? Defensive coordinators are all trying to do the same thing in terms of limiting the big plays.
Well, if we don't turn that ball over 3 times in that game, it'd be a different game. So that was the thing that held us back more than anything is that. So.
You talked a lot about, trusting your system and curious. How much of the difference between or adding players, how much of that is emotional and
That's a great question.
thank you.
I would say that, I might throw somewhere in the 90 percentiles as far as mental. I really do. Because it's not, I can assure you, it's not schemes. We tweak things here and there, but and these are pretty much the same players. So I would say more than 90% is mental. Yeah, it's a totally different team, really. One, because of going into that game, what are we going to be? Who are we? Who are we? You know, yes, we got confidence coming out of camp, but boy, when the lights get turned on and we got to play, what are we going to be like? And so I think, you know, they know exactly who they are, and not only do they know who they are, they know exactly who the guy is next to them, in front of them, behind them, you know, in every scenario, and they know that they can count on each other. In the game the other day, you would never notice this, but there were multiple backups that had to go in and play on special teams units for various reasons. And, I mean, in grading guys out on the film, every single one of those guys did an exceptional job. Not because they're getting the reps in practice, but they are mentally preparing themselves because they don't want to let each other down. So, you know, some guys played spots that they hadn't practiced, but we needed them to go. And they went in, yeah, I got it. I know exactly what he does. I got it. And went in and did it. You know, and that, we got a really good culture, you know, on this football team.
Let's take 2 more questions. Great ones.
Yeah, only 2 great ones.
I followed up Powell and I was really nervous.
You're all got great ones?
I had my one shot.
Nobody's going to ask a question now because we said it had to be a great one.
There, yeah, this probably isn't a great one, but
Oh, yeah, it's the same things that attract me to it right now, is that we have all the pieces of the puzzle to do what we're doing right now. I mean, we do. We've got, you live in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. It doesn't get any better. It's a tremendous college town. You're at one of a handful of universities across this country where you can get a world-class education and play football at the highest level. And we got great fans. We got great support. We can attract great players that want to be successful on the field and off the field. And so everything's here, everything that we need.
all right.
That was only one.
I know, that was a good one.
That was a good one to end on, so did a great job there.
Bobby
That's
has,
2,000 acts you've given, so you're getting better at it all.
I'm trying. I really am. I'm trying. That is a fault of mine.